Neville Goddard's breath explosion technique. There are some really good resources for this. I've put a link below in the comments below to a Neville Goddard in his own voice from the lecture The Part of Andrew. That is really, really well worth listening to. He talks about it a couple of times, and I'm just going to read you something that came from the womb of the universe, and then give you some of my ideas on how I've used this and how I've experienced it in my body. So, womb of the universe. So I think of you and I imagine anything in this world about you, and I set in motion by that act a vortex. The vortex in this world is gathering density to make itself apparent to the world. So I bring before my mind's eye you or others, and I imagine you as I would like you to be. And then I try and find out how to set it in motion by speculating, by experimenting. And I found this one little thing that I'll share with you, and you'll find it very, very successful. We are told to make it alive, he breathed into it. Well, if I breathe into something, you may think I'm exhaling, wouldn't you? It's just the opposite. He breathed into it and it became alive, a living soul. But it's not breathing into something outside of himself, because God can't get outside of himself. It's inhalation in which you breathe. You don't exhale, you inhale. So you think of someone and you get yourself worked up to a certain state, just like the creative act. And when you bring them to a certain pitch within yourself, then a deep inhalation. At that moment, every atom of your body tingles and you feel as though something has gone out of you. Something alive seems to go out at that moment when you bring it right straight to a certain focus. And then with that one deep inhalation, you explode your whole body. What do you do after that? Nothing. That is self-impregnation. So you look at it, you breathe with a certain rhythm. Try it, experiment. When you reach a certain apex of intensity, it's just like the creative act, that explosion is from within. You inhale deeply. That one deep inhalation explodes your entire body and everything tingles. And you have no desire, just like a creative act, to repeat it. It's done. And just like a creative act, you leave it just as it is, for that's pregnancy. Now, just let it unfold in its own wonderful way. This is Neville from the Part of Andrew lecture explaining the breath explosion technique. I bring before my mind's eye a scene which would imply that I am the one that I want to be, or that my friend or others are as I would like them to be. I try to confine it within the framework of the golden rule. That is, doing unto others what I would love them to do unto me, and not to go outside of that rule. This is an easy thing to practice. Would I like the good that I ask of them? Yes. Would I like it for myself, or would I ask it for them? Bring them before your mind's eye and dare to assume that what you are seeing in your mind's eye is true. Now, there is a definite technique to it. A simple technique. I can share with you what I do, and it works. I bring them into my mind's eye and I work myself up into an emotional state. It's like a peculiar rhythm. I breathe in and breathe out and breathe in and breathe out, and suddenly I reach a certain point and then one deep inhalation, as though I'm setting it up in a timed explosion before my own mind. I set it up and all of a sudden I have a deep inhalation and every pore of my being explodes. And then I do nothing beyond that. It's taking that scene and setting it up in a timed explosion before the eternal event, and then I explode it and let life develop it. And life develops it. So when you're using the breath technique, the important things with it is to be building up the feelings of joy, of excitement, of possibly relief, and is to be really building up all of that emotion. So the more you, as you're looping your scene in your mind and feeling all that excitement, joy building up, what you find, or what I find happens, is my breath seems to get naturally faster. So it might be that just starting with potentially deep belly breathing. It might be that you start with just deep in and out, either through your nose. So it might be through your mouth in the sense of but really try and breathe really deeply and try and keep it as a continuous flow. One of the other things that's actually really good that I learned from 9D breathwork is a 2-part breathwork, and the teachers actually call it euphoric breathing because it triggers feelings of euphoria in your body. So this is a deep into your belly, a deep into your chest, a relax and let go. Looks a bit like this. So it's a bit like a wave going through your body. And I found when I do those, either one of those two, focusing on the joy and the relief of my desire being fulfilled, that actually my whole body physically is starting to tingle from that breath work. And one of the things they teach you in 9D breathwork is to do that and then have a breath hold for a couple of minutes, either at the top or at the bottom. I'll put all the links to 9D breathwork and the free school community and the free resources down below, so you can try them out. So this might look a little bit like this. So first of all, we'll just do a holotropic type breathing, which is basically just in and out, and then we'll do the 2-part with a hold. So I'll show you. It looks a little bit like this. So and as I do that, I can feel all the energy building, and with the hold, it kind of does that explosion. And again, with the 2-part, so that would be try it for yourself and see. I mean, I would strongly recommend and suggest go into the 9D school, join it for free, go into the classroom where it says the 5-day challenge, and it shows you different types of breath work that has breath holds with them. Try it and see for yourself while you are looping your scene, and while you are building the emotion, build it physically with your breath as well. For me personally, what I found is that the more the joy and the relief builds, the faster my breath seems to get by itself. So it is building, as Neville talks about it, as it does with a physical creative act, is that very often as the joy, the pleasure, the relief, as all of that builds physically, very often everything gets faster. The actions get faster, the breath gets faster, to the point where it explodes. And this is something very similar to what's happening. So your body is your body is exploding because you're building it all with the breath work and the joy and the emotion, and you're building it physically within your body as well. But it's as he says, it's a psychic creative act rather than a physical one. So anyway, I hope this helps you. Do try it out for yourself. Let me know how you get on. Let me know how your own experimenting goes, and just drop me a message in the comments, and let me know what you manifest from having all that thrill of joy and relief running through your body.